Hi everyone, welcome to Migrate and Modernize Linux, PostgreSQL and Java to Azure. My name is Sachin Nagpal. I'm part of Azure Infra team focused on open source solutions at Azure. I've been with Microsoft for 5 years plus and looking after driving open source innovation. And I do have my colleague today, Brian. I would let him introduce himself. Over to you, Brian.
Thank you, Sachin. It's great to be here today. And I love talking about open source and how it's innovating around the world, and especially in these times of AI transformation. Today I'm going to talk about open source databases, and specifically open source managed databases on Azure. So here to help Sachin with the content, and looking forward to showcasing some of the fantastic innovations and capabilities that we have with our open source databases.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, before we get started, I just want to let you know we have chat moderators on hand ready to answer any questions you have throughout the session. Click on the Q&A button to ask any question. So please keep the questions coming. And in today's session, we'll talk more about open source, Migrate Linux, PostgreSQL, as Brian talked about, MySQL, Java, and how they really work on Azure. So in next 60 to 70 minutes, we'll walk you through the details we have on the solutions which Azure has to offer. Before we get started, I want to talk about how cloud, is shaping. AI is shaping the future for us. AI is everywhere. Let's talk about why you should be looking Azure as your cloud foundation. Based on input from our customer, we identified the 4 outcomes that Azure enables the best. Azure helps organizations respond faster to market changes by modernizing apps and streamlining operations across environments, ensuring business continuity with resilient infrastructures. Azure unifies data and AI, accelerate innovation, enabling faster insights for your business, seamless integration with enterprise systems like SAP, and simplified access to advanced models. With built-in end-to-end security and the broadest threat protection across the cloud, Azure helps organizations safeguard their entire estate, including AI workload, while meeting the compliance and sovereignty needs, which is a key to our customers' needs. And finally, Azure delivers unmatched value through cost-saving programs, high-performance infrastructure, and deep integration with existing technologies, helping customers scale efficiency and maximizing return over invest. Let me deep dive into each of these pillars a little bit more for you. For our customers, we look at what's their priority, what are they looking at. We look at what they need to do, what they need to evolve, how they look at these priorities. And we here set of universal priorities, we characterize them into 4 as they define application platform to underpin their evolving application portfolio. It must give them the agility to innovating fast with AI to sustain competitive advantage and deliver on growth. Cloud is an advantage. Cloud is shaping the modernization. Cloud is really helping to innovate faster. So it must be developer friendly, giving developers the ability to build new apps fast and modernize existing apps. Have the scale and the performance to deliver on the demands of this new era of applications, and ensure that every app, customer, and employee facing delivers a premium experience. Experience is the key in today's environment. And it must balance performance with cost, not to erode the return over investment. And finally, the platform must support an uncompromising commitment to security, compliance, and governance, that every app, including those that are infused with AI, are delivered in a way that is trusted, secure, and protected. So in summaries, we are here to help our customers in this journey of AI and really help them to be more innovative as they go in this AI journey. Now, the question is why you should be looking migrate and modernize to Azure. We talked about why cloud, the importance of cloud in this AI era. Let's talk about why you should look at Azure as your cloud foundation. Based on input from our customer, again, we identified 4 outcomes, right? Azure really helps organization respond faster to market change by modernizing the apps, streamlining the operations across environment, ensuring business continuity, resilient infrastructure. You can have the maximized business agility, and some of the numbers which you are seeing on the screen, we worked with our customer in their journey on why they looked at Azure, and some of these really represent the fact which customer achieved. It's not only us, it's together we really help them to be more business agile. Next is, Azure unifies data. How it can really help. It can really help AI accelerate innovations, enabling faster insights. The next is secure from code to cloud. Microsoft is one of the biggest security company on this planet. We sense 84 trillion signals daily. That's the kind of skills we really help our customers to get to, protect from these threats. With built-in end-to-end security, across clouds, Azure helps organization, including AI workload to meet the compliance. Last is best-in-class cost performance. Azure delivers unmatched value when it comes to ROI. You can really have your investment, and in this specific case with customer, we had 344% 3-year return over investment as they migrate and modernize. We have the best high performing infrastructure, we have the best performance per dollar, we have the best performance providing for your customer workloads. So it's all about efficiently and maximizing the ROIs. So this shows why you should be looking at Azure when you look at migrate and modernize. And this is not the end, right? You can be innovative faster with comprehensive Azure platform. End-to-end support from the developer tools, from apps, API, data, infra services to a strong AI platform, as well as the enterprise security, observability, reliability. This all requires as you bring your data, as you bring your workload on Azure platform. We provide all these services integrated under Azure platform. No matter if you are a developer or you are an IT professional or operators, you will get support from complete cloud ecosystem. We provide tons of services. We provide tons of partner solutions through marketplace. We have security integrated into each component which you use. So there is innovate. You can foster with the comprehensive Azure platform which we have. Now look at open source. Open source is the core or heart of Microsoft. At Microsoft, we recognize the importance of open source in transforming software development, and its a role as a significant differentiator for organization. We have already committed to helping our customer to achieve more and innovate faster through open source. Open source is at the core of everything at Microsoft what we do, from contributing to the open source ecosystem, to the building blocks and the processes to make it easier for developers to use, contribute, release open source software. Some of our most widely adopted and vibrant developer tools and frameworks such as GitHub, Visual Studio Code, .NET, all are open source. Microsoft contributes a lot to these. Microsoft is consistently one of the top open source contributor with over 60,000 developers active in GitHub, and leading contributors to Kubernetes and CNCF ecosystem, cloud native computing foundation system. You can find Microsoft engineers active in open source community across multiple areas, from operating systems, where you look at the operating system, the cloud native applications, data and AI, and we'll touch upon later today, Brian will touch upon on Postgres and open source databases. We also focus on cloud native development, writing microservices, using Kubernetes easier with projects like Dapper, Helm, Keda, you look at web, you look at languages. Microsoft is committed to open source. And that's not only it. It is all about driving business value for open source on Azure. And let's talk about tangible business value organizations are realizing by adopting open source software on Azure. Well, we will start with Ubuntu. Ubuntu on Azure, where companies have seen a 300% return over investment over 3 years. It's not 30-40. Companies have seen 300% return on investment. That's a powerful indicator for how OSS can drive cost efficiency at scale. Next is with Red Hat. And you can get all these more details once you get to this slides. There are URL at the back, which can give you more details on the study on how we did achieve these numbers. Next is Red Hat Enterprise Linux on Azure. There had been 85% reduction in outage downtime using Red Hat RHEL on Azure. This is not just a technical win, it's just a business continuity advantage that directly impact customer satisfaction and operational resilience. When it comes to performance, OSS continues to shine. Organizations have reported a 65% improvement in database performance and a 58% lower total cost of ownership TCO. These gains are critical for teams managing large-scale data operations. For those using MySQL, the benefits can even more pronounced. 86% cost reduction in administration. That's a huge operational savings, and that's free up resources for innovation. And modernization is getting major boost from AI. With GitHub Copilot, companies are seeing 70% reduction in software migration efforts. One standout example, upgrading Java applications from Java 8 to Java 17, and the changes of thousands of files, what you used to take days or even months, can now be just done in hours. That's the kind of innovation, that's the kind of, power of open source solutions what we provide. So whether it is migrating, whether it is modernizing, or simply optimizing existing workload, open source on Azure is delivering measurable business impact, business outcomes. For those interested in the data behind this, as I said, we have included links to detailed white papers and research reports from the Forrester and Enterprise Strategy Group. These provide deeper insights into the economic impact of open source adoption on Azure. You can go more in details. Moving on. Now, let's talk about how Azure is proven platform for open source. Open source has to run on an operating system, and for most developers today, that OS is Linux. We understand that. And which is why more than 66% of customer cores in our data centers today are running Linux. But it's not just our customers. Hundreds of Microsoft-owned services run on Linux in Azure, including Xbox, Microsoft 365, Azure Kubernetes services, many more core Azure services. Look at the scale which we are having Linux on Azure platform. More than 66% of cores in our 60 plus regions across the globe are running Linux. We have our own distribution. I don't know how many people know that. We do have Azure Linux. Microsoft owns distribution Azure Linux, which we use for those Microsoft services and make available to customer as a container host for Azure Kubernetes services. That is optimized for Azure, offer enhanced performance, reliability, and security. And lastly, of course, the latest AI workloads such as OpenAI, ChatGPT, and all other AI services run on Linux on Azure. On Azure, you can take advantage of a broad ecosystem, open source technologies that includes database like Postgres, MySQL, cloud native technologies, large language models, allowing you to run your workload using your choice of open source software. Of course, that includes choice of Linux distribution. Because we collaborate with the leading Linux publisher like Red Hat, Canonical, and SUSE as the broader Linux community to ensure an optimal experience on Azure, whatever your preferred distro is. So that shows how we embrace open source on Azure. It's not just Microsoft story. It's an industry-wide movement. According to the latest Perforce open source report, a remarkable 80% of companies are increasing their use of open source. This is a clear signal that open source has moved from being a niche or experimental approach to becoming a strategic imperative for organization for all size, whether it is small and medium business or companies or big enterprise, all are embracing open source as their strategic imperatives. The question is, why is this happening? Open source delivers flexibilities, accelerate innovation, give organization access to a global community of contributors. As businesses modernize, they are looking for platforms that not only support open source but help them scale its security and efficiently. That's exactly where Azure comes into the picture. Azure is trusted by some of the world's most innovative and demanding organizations for their open source workloads. From global enterprise in manufacturing, finance, healthcare, digital natives, AI leaders, all of these customers are running mission critical open source solutions on Azure every day, every minute, every second they are doing it. Their ecosystem of enterprise customer is proof that open source on Azure is just possible. It is proven. It is scalable. It's delivering real business value, whether you are just starting your open source journey or looking to modernize at scale. Azure provides the platform that supports the community to help you succeed. Let's dive deeper into some of these customer stories, see how they are leveraging Azure to drive transformation. I think that's where you will see the proof of pudding, right? How big companies embraces this. Let me talk about a company PTC. I'm sure every one of you, the company named PTC, who provides solutions to many of their customer in manufacturing and different segment. PTC improves operational efficiency with migration to Azure database for Postgres as a global leader in lifecycle management. Right? PTC specializes in cutting edge software that helps company to all size transform how they design, manufacture, maintain their products. Whether companies are building planes, medical devices, wind turbines, computer, businesses can rely on PTC software. What was their challenge? To continue improvement and performance and scalability, they need better optimized database sizing and cost and position itself to advance innovation. PTC needed better standardization and control over its deployment automation. They need standardization. They had existing infrastructure which is limited to ability to perform, and for their support for future AI innovation. These all were typical challenges which they were facing. What solution was? PTC moved more than 300 customers to Azure database for PostgreSQL. It used Azure database migration services to move them virtual machine infrastructure to AKS, which is Azure Kubernetes services, and facilitating the process of delivering SaaS services. What was the impact? The migration simplifies deployment, enable PTCs to use telemetry data more effectively for their proactive service management, optimize resources, supporting PTC for continuous AI innovation. They achieved superior performance, faster processing, gained better control over resources, position for generative AI innovation and real-time insights. That shows a company like who provides services to many industries in design really gain advantage of leveraging open source database on Azure. That's not it. We have more example. OpenAI. Everybody knows OpenAI nowadays, right? They are the one driving AI innovation, and Microsoft providing OpenAI solutions. Uh, just to give you, OpenAI faced significant challenge as the size and the complexity of their AI model increase. As you look at ChatGPT 3.5, 4, we announced 5 now. As the complexity increase, they need a process for checkpointing model training involved, huge distribution training cluster for GPUs, causing large influx of data to be pushed to a storage a very short time frame. Also, the lost training time and could result in an opportunity cost to millions of dollars a day. They needed a managed growing data complexity from AI model development while scaling AI innovation. Face potential financial losses due to lost training time. The GPUs are costly. If you're not able to train faster enough, underutilizing GPUs is a big financial losses. Required security and compliant, right? So what solution they adopted on Azure was to overcome these challenges is Microsoft Azure Blob Storage. They adopted the scaled account features of Azure Blob Storage to operate an exabyte scale without adding operational complexity. Exabyte scale without adding, that's the key here. This solution allowed OpenAI to focus on advancing AI research while managing and optimizing storage operation using Linux-based system. That shows, how we were able to scale their solution. And the impact, reduce operational cost by millions of dollars per day. It's not even month, per day, millions of dollars. Enable storage of petabytes of data with high throughput and reliability. You know that performance really matters in this case as they crunch so much data on training. Improve disaster recovery, optimize throughput. Yeah, this is how OpenAI sees, using open source Linux based storage blob on Azure. You can read more about these in detail through the links in this presentation. Another customer story, Sapiens. Again, they use generative AI solution. Using AI services, Sapiens automated key tasks like underwriting, claims processing, and fraud detection, significantly improving accuracy and speed. Integrating with Azure allows Sapiens to handle vast amounts of data efficiently, which is in turn enables quick, accurate analysis of claims documents. The automation not only saves time but also ensures compliance with complex regulation like GDPR. As a result, they were able to deliver greater value to their insurance providers, helping them operate more effectively, make faster decisions. And some of our other customers have leveraged your AI services to speed up transaction, detect anomalies, summarize materials, ultimately save valuable time and across their businesses. No matter what your specific use case look like, reshaping businesses processes always comes to the same thing, giving your team modern processes that improves efficiencies and help everyone operate with less friction. We have another case from our region, Fujitsu. Again, Fujitsu is a world-leading IT service provider. We all know that. They face challenge in adopting their Java system to a cloud environment while maintaining reliable performance. Azure support for Java apps, specifically through Azure Container Apps, made it possible for Fujitsu to containerize and manage their application more easily, ensuring a smooth transition. By developing Java application on Azure Container Apps, Fujitsu could scale their services dynamically only using resources as needed. This setup offered better cost management while enhancing responsiveness, support for their clients. The teams can spend less time on infrastructure and focus on innovation and customer-centric improvement. Now, look at the next example, Backbase. Again, Backbase built a unified and secure banking management platform on Azure. Their challenges was Banks are hesitant to go on modernization journey, knowing their nature, right? They're slow to adopt to new technology. But even to a newer core due to multi-millions of event investments and multi-year effort. We provided them Azure Kubernetes Services Host Integration Platform Connector, which are Java workload running across Kubernetes, Azure API management, and the impact? Full control over API lifecycle, enabling developers to design, develop, secure, monitor APIs within a single integration layer. So how we are able to simplify their solution. And with their deep integration, Kubernetes-based backend using state-of-the-art GitOps tooling, we were able to provide them new tools, able to scale, able to optimize using Azure solutions. These were some of the examples, right, we shared with you. Now, we spoke about cloud sprawl earlier, right? Most organizations have a high complex and heterogeneous IT states. We all know that. You all have some different environment, different solutions, different vendor, different ISVs. As you have businesses wish to leapfrog the cost and the complexity of a patchwork of point products, and vendors are benefit from a truly cloud native ecosystem. Again, Azure meets you where you are in your cloud migration journey. Azure is a purpose built for every workload, from application, databases, operating system, infrastructure. We also have strategic partnerships for our largest third-party workloads such as VMware, SAP, Oracle, NetApp, Citrix, all delivered with best-in-class end-to-end management and security. Security is the foundation to all of these solutions which we provide. In the remainder of our time, I'll deep dive into the outcomes a little bit deeper. Let's jump right into those. Let's talk more about Linux as open source solution. You can deploy and run application with AKS on the Linux distro of your choice. AKS is our Azure Kubernetes Services. Azure has an official support policy that we welcome all flavor of Linux. And we work across the industry to ensure that just about every major distro and most of the smaller ones can run in Azure, and to make a wide selection of images available in Azure Marketplace. This is the starting point if you have a specific distro you are looking for, as it houses thousands of offers from publisher across the industry, including base OS images and application. You can even use a base image from Marketplace, customize it using Azure Image Builder, and store that image for your own private image gallery. For someone doesn't have a specific distro they are looking for, they would start with a list of endorsed distribution. We currently have 8 endorsed Linux distributions, including Rocky Linux and Alma Linux, which was just added last month. Another recent change in that CentOS was removed following its end-of-life cycle back in June 2024. And for those impacted by that, we do have information to help how they can migrate from CentOS to a different distros available in the industry. When endorsing a distribution we are saying 4 things. First, we have a contractual agreement with the provider of the distro. Second, we have an engineering collaboration from in which bugs, issues, enhancement, and accelerations are discussed. Next is what we are seeing sustained strong market demand. And finally, the publisher is maintaining update infrastructure in Azure to enhance the user experience. As I explained, there are endorsed distribution, we have 8, which are mostly adopted in the community in open source, from Debian till Rocky Linux to Alma Linux. But we welcome other distros also. We support other distros also. The difference between endorse is that when there is an issue happens, or is there an issue get reported, the endorse distribution and we work towards to provide that solution. In case of supported distro, the fix has to come from the supported distro directly, because we have engineering collaboration with the endorse distribution providers. That's the key. And all of that are available through Marketplace on Azure today. Azure has an official support policy that we welcome all flavors of Linux, and we work across the industry to ensure that just about every major distro and most of the smallest one can run in Azure, and to make a wide selection of images available through Azure Marketplace. You can even use a base image from Marketplace, customize it, use it. These are some of the Marketplace images. You can see, you can find more, and you can build your own through Azure Image Builder. But there are hundreds of images available on Azure Marketplace for you to leverage. The other thing I wanted to add here is our new Azure Cobalt ARM-based system. Last October, we announced the general availability of Azure first generation ARM-based VMs based on our in-house custom-built ARM64-based cloud ARM processor. These are new general purpose and memory optimized VM suited to run scale-out Linux workload and other cloud-native workloads. The new Cloud Cobalt 100 VMs offer up to 1.4x performance, 1.5x performance on Java, 2x on web servers, .NET, and in-memory cache application, 4x local storage IOPS, are more power efficient than our previous generation ARM-based VM. That shows the performance which we are bringing with this new infrastructure to run Linux workload on scale. As of earlier this year, these VMs are available across 26 regions and used by companies in various industries, whether it is Databricks, Snowflake, Elastic, and other major technology and travel industry. They all use Azure Cobalt VM and use open source Linux distribution and see a lot of performance improvement. So that shows the scalability and the solutions which we are building based on our next generation ARM-based VMs infrastructure. Last but not the least, Azure offers the most flexible licensing option to deploying Linux workload. You can choose from a range of free community-supported Linux distribution, including Debian, Alma, Rocky, Fedora, anything you want to bring, right? But if you require paid distribution, such as Red Hat Enterprise Linux, SUSE Linux Enterprise, Ubuntu Pro, you have the flexibility to choose pay-as-you-go model, paying only for the resources you use, or bring your own subscription, allowing you to use your existing subscription in Azure at no extra cost. That means, give you an example, if you are a Red Hat customer already, you have a Red Hat Enterprise subscription from them, you can leverage the same subscription on Azure without adding any cost. Azure is the only cloud to offer Azure hybrid benefits, which is unique licensing solution that enables bidirectional conversion between PG and BYOS for your Red Hat and SUSE, including post-deployment conversions too. Azure Hybrid can combine the offers like reserve instances to get additional saving. You can also upgrade from Ubuntu servers to canonical premium Ubuntu Pro offering, just like the Azure Hybrid benefit. This can be done on running VMs without need for a reboot. So as I said, we work with these engineering collaboration with some of these distribution to provide you seamless experience. We are the one offering you AHub benefits. You can bring your own subscription. You can have pay-as-you model. And in some of the accounts, let's say Red Hat has strategic pricing to a certain set of customers. You can get the same pricing models through Azure private market offers. So we have all the flexibility available for our customer to leverage all the pricing options for Linux, to deploy Linux on Azure. Now, once you have this, Linux security is a key. We also provide a secure baseline for Linux in Azure where you can audit conformance of a subset of the CIS standard. We announced secure baseline at Ignite last November with an enhanced audit experience that is now fully aligned with CIS. Let's look at some of the highlights here. We are creating a Linux native experience for compliance and auto remediation. We support hybrid use cases, giving you a holistic view of compliance and use of auto remediation across cloud, whether it is Azure or non-Azure, and on-premise through Azure Arc. The current baseline has around 63% coverage of the latest distro-independent Linux CIS baseline. That shows, an upcoming new baseline content which will be fully aligned to latest CIS standards, starting with L1 controls for servers, and later L2 controls are also coming as part of CIS. Auto remediation is against the current baseline content. As the new content will come, auto remediation will be available for those too. So that shows how we ensure security, compliance with Azure policies, with Linux, with CIS baseline, all standards we follow. That's what we continue to drive more and more compliance and security. In our next session, which will be taken by Brian on open source database, I'll hand it over to Brian to walk you through the database side of the story on Azure. Over to you, Brian.
Thank you, Sachin. That was a tremendous amount of information that you shared there, and amazing to see that Microsoft really does take open source seriously. So some great slides there talking about all of the development, software development stack that Microsoft contributes to. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to double click on those open source databases, and specifically I'm gonna choose Postgres and MySQL, and you'll see why that's the case, why they're so important, especially to us at Microsoft, in the next slide. So for those of you who are aware of the Stack Overflow developer survey, it was recently refreshed for 2025, and there's two particular categories that I'd like to draw your attention to. So these are all up databases, not just relational databases or proprietary or open source, it's everything. And what you can see here is that from a professional developer perspective, the survey, as I said, just been refreshed. Postgres and MySQL are the top two databases again, and that's been consistent the last 4 or 5 years. What this means is that for enterprises who are developing enterprise class applications, these databases are top of mind and on the desired to use list of these professional developers. This bears out in the market all around the world. The next interesting slide is in 2025, there was a new category that was introduced, and that was professionals that use databases for AI. Now we can see even in this category a slight increase, but still Postgres and MySQL are at the top of those charts. So if it's standard development that you want to do, there's a great demand for Postgres and MySQL, and if it's AI development, that increases. And we take these databases seriously at Microsoft. This underscores the importance of these databases for modern development projects, and this would suggest that skills for Postgres and MySQL are going to remain highly relevant and in demand. Now, just to double click on Postgres, this is something that we have active contribution from a Microsoft perspective, and we're one of the top contributors to the open source Postgres project. Postgres 18 should be released sometime in the next couple of months, and some of the stats from that I'll share with you. Microsoft have authored 456 commits or co-authored, so that's in the upcoming 18 release. This reflects active development involvement, and the team has reviewed 689 commits, either authored, co-authored, or authored by somebody not at Microsoft. Notably, 18.6% of all commits include code authored by Microsoft, and 28.1% have been reviewed by Microsoft team members, underscoring the significant influence on that project. We have a broader engagement with Postgres through the Azure database for Postgres and other open source initiatives, demonstrating a strategic investment in this ecosystem. You can scan this QR code or go visit the URL to see additional resources if you're interested in getting more details about Microsoft's commitments to Postgres. Now, what do we offer from a managed service perspective? Well, we take the core of Postgres, which is the open source core, the community code, And then we build a fully managed, intelligent, and scalable offering around that. So if you see in this diagram here, Postgres is a fantastic database for all manner of work, whether it's time series data, geospatial applications, transactional apps, even semi-structured data types. What this means is you get the reliability of Postgres combined with our Azure advantage, where we get features like inbuilt high availability, security, and compliance. The integration with AI is a game changer. We have integration with Azure AI, and that allows you to develop AI applications in a much more streamlined fashion. The database can do a lot of the heavy lifting, and this means that the time to delivery of software projects can be reduced. Additionally, Azure's global reach and extension support allow for seamless scaling and performance optimization, helping businesses meet their evolving data needs with confidence. Now, don't forget, if you've got any questions, you can pop them in the QA, and we have moderators who are online right now to help you answer those questions. Azure Database for Postgres is enterprise ready. What you get, some of the features that we've added to the open source Postgres are Entra ID for centralized authentication and access to your data resources, private endpoints and virtual networks, which can allow you to secure your data on our public cloud, data encryption for both data at rest and in transit. Then we have Azure Defender, which is a service that protects your database, and I'll talk a bit more in detail about that in an upcoming slide. On top of the Azure availability zones, we can build highly resilient and highly available solutions using our Azure Database for Postgres. We have the ability to set up GeoDR for regional failover. Performance is incredibly scalable. We have scale-up and distributed Postgres available. Of course, you can secure and deploy these following Azure policy if you've configured and used that from an enterprise perspective. And then, of course, the Azure Advisor, which will help, give you a confident view of your resources to ensure they meet your compliance. Okay, the Azure Database for Postgres offers a rich ecosystem of integrations that support the full application lifecycle, from development and deployment to monitoring and analytics. Whether you're building new apps, migrating existing workloads, or modernizing legacy apps, the platform provides seamless connectivity with a wide range of Azure services. You can see some of them here on the chart. Developers can easily connect their apps using the Service Connector and deploy across environments like App Service, Container Apps, Azure Kubernetes Services, or even Azure Virtual Machines. The Service Connector plays a key role in simplifying integration by enabling secure, no-code connectivity between your Postgres database and Azure Compute Services like App Services, Container Apps, and AKS. This eliminates the need for manual configuration and accelerates development workflows. For continuous integration and delivery, GitHub Actions and Azure Pipelines enable streamlined DevOps workflows. Monitoring and performance tuning are supported through Azure Monitor and Azure Advisor. This helps teams maintain reliability and efficiency. Developers can interact with their databases using familiar tools like Visual Studio Code and even pgadmin, while advanced data integration and analytics are powered by our Microsoft Fabric product, Azure Data Factory for integration, and Synapse Analytics. Additionally, Postgres on Azure supports a range of powerful extensions such as PostGIS for geospatial data and pgstat statements for query performance insights for performance tuning. We also have extensions that allow you to integrate with the Azure Blob storage, which is a really key feature for a lot of modern applications. These capabilities make Azure Database for Postgres a comprehensive and flexible choice for modern data-driven applications. And we have a whole raft of tutorials helping walk you through how to set up these development environments and get the most out of that. Migration to Azure Database for Postgres is easier than ever before, and it enables customers to enjoy the benefits of the latest versions of Postgres combined with the security, scalability, and AI integration of the Azure ecosystem. It's 100% compatible community code. Major versions of Postgres are available within weeks of them being released. As I mentioned, Postgres 18 will probably come out September, October this year, and within weeks we'll have that available on Azure. There's no application code changes needed to migrate. We have an extensive list of supported migrations, and most of the contrib extensions are supported out of the box. And also we have a free migration service built into the database, the Azure database for Postgres. So you can simply click and migrate databases from other sources, from on-prem, from other clouds. You can migrate those to the Azure database for Postgres service and take advantage of some of the great features that we have, including that AI integration. Now, talking about MySQL. Similar to our Postgres offering, we have the Azure database for MySQL. It offers a fully managed enterprise-grade database service that removes the administrative burden from your team. And essentially, this is the same as it is with Postgres. When you use a managed database, you can focus on building applications rather than managing infrastructure. That's a key theme running across all of our managed databases on Azure. You can concentrate on developing those apps, and we'll look after things like backups and high availability and security and patching, etc. This enhances data protection through advanced manageability and security features, while also improving query performance and providing intelligent insights. The platform supports rapid global deployment, enabling your apps to reach users worldwide in minutes. And additionally, built-in tools and resources help save time on routine tasks. Now, if you look at this table here, what you'll see is the difference between running, say, for example, this MySQL database on premises on the left versus the managed platform as a service on the right. So in an on-premises scenario, you have to manage applications, data, high availability, disaster recovery, backups, provisioning, and we're talking about maybe even procuring hardware to fulfill some of these requirements, operating system patching, virtualization if you have a hypervisor, and who doesn't, then the hardware and the data center. So that is a massive stack to deliver an application. If you move to VMs, then that reduces a little bit, and Microsoft manages the virtualization, the hardware, and the data center. But largely everything inside the OS is your responsibility. Now, with the platform as a service database, what's managed by the customer is two things: applications and data. And this is the same for Postgres. So really, it's about freeing your resources up to start developing applications rather than tin hugging or managing operating systems. So you can see here there's some significant operational benefits to be had when you use managed databases. Okay, and I'll finish off by talking about Microsoft Defender for Cloud. As I mentioned, this is a software layer that sits in front of your database to protect it, and it's a two-pronged approach. And it starts by centralizing your security posture management and enabling one-click protection for databases. And that allows you to stay secure by detecting and responding to threats effectively. Key features include identifying vulnerabilities like misconfigurations and excessive permissions, and providing actionable alerts mapped to the MITRE ATT&CK framework. The integration with tools such as Microsoft Sentinel, Security Copilot, and Defender XDR ensures a comprehensive threat response. Now, this is the same across all of our database portfolio on Azure. So you can see on the bottom there, Azure SQL DB, SQL in a VN. You can even run it on AWS RDS. You can have Azure Defender protect your database in another cloud. And of course, as I just touched on, Postgres, MySQL, and our MariaDB offerings. So hopefully that was a good insight into our managed databases on Azure, specifically the open source ones, Postgres and MySQL. And if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. That's it from me. I'll hand you back to Sachin, who's going to walk you through some more content.
Thank you, Brian. I think that was great insights on how we manage databases, open source databases on Azure, and thanks for sharing some of the story, including Defender for Cloud with AWS RDS. So thank you. And again, as Brian said, please keep the questions coming. You have Q&A tab. Please keep it coming. We will be answering. We have moderator to answer those questions. Moving forward, containers on Azure. Let's deep dive on containers, how we do that. Again, open source underpins all the work that we do to build container management solution. Azure Kubernetes Services leverages both Kubernetes and the rich cloud native computing foundation ecosystem of projects while maintaining compatibility with community standards and tools. We build our own products and services on top of AKS, including Azure Container Apps. So you could have a look, right? You have CNCF ecosystem, which a lot of communities contribute to. You have open source foundation. We built AKS, and then you have a lot of Microsoft product and services which are using these AKS services. And we are, as a Microsoft, is the largest cloud provider contribution to Cloud Native Computing Foundation project in last year. That shows how we are embracing open source and how we are helping communities to drive these ecosystem together. Going further deep on, Azure Kubernetes Services, what it is. It's a fully managed, Kubernetes services that you can use to deploy and manage containerized application. You need minimal container orchestration expertise to use AKS. AKS reduces the complexity and operational overhead of managing Kubernetes by offloading much of that responsibilities to Azure. AKS is an ideal platform for deploying and managing containerized application that requires number one, high availability, scalability, portability, and for deploying applications to multiple regions using open source tools and integrating with existing DevOps tools. So that really simplifies your management posture, your scaling capabilities, your portability of deploying applications to the multiple region. We manage all of that. And you don't need to learn new tools with the existing integration of DevOps tools. All the power of Kubernetes while minimizing the complexity, fully managed by Azure, not just host control plane and bare bones agent nodes, but managed components covering security, governance, networking, storage, service mesh, and many more. All of the components required to build a modern containerized application built from source and available out of the box, fully managed and supported. That's the seamless experience you get using AKS on Azure. Not the last, broad region support. Build on Azure industry leading footprint to provide managed Kubernetes in over 60 plus region worldwide, ensuring our customer can meet the toughest data sovereignty requirement, compliance standard. In fact, AKS is considered so foundational to our compute platform that we cannot launch a new region without AKS being operational there. Because we know you need those platforms, you need data sovereignty, you need compliance standards. So as we announce our new regions, it comes across as a default service in all our region. Seamless DevSecOps with CI/CD integration, that security. If that DevOps has been evolved, right? And I'll touch upon that in next slides also, right? From DevOps to DevSecOps to now agentic DevOps. That is how these things are evolving. And to add a build, last year we announced AKS Automatic, which is in public preview, to make AKS even more productive for developers and platform teams who don't have platform engineering expertise. We understand not everyone will have all the engineering expertise. That's where we bring this AKS Automatic. AKS Automatic offers an experience that makes the most common task on Kubernetes fast and frictionless, while preserving the flexibility, extensibility, and consistency of Kubernetes, making it an ideal option for modern and AI applications. Operational and development best practices that have typically had a high learning curve are formalized within product, harnessing the expertise we ourselves accumulated running some of the largest and most advanced Kubernetes and AI application in the world, from Microsoft Teams to Bing to Xbox Online Services, M365, and GitHub Copilot. So we bring those all expertise and bring it for our customer to use it in a frictionless environment. It automates everything to be production ready, from cluster setup, management, to performance, to security, to safeguard and policies. This is what all you need. So developers can go from code to Kubernetes in minutes. This is in preview. You will soon go into GA, but this is for customers who don't have platform engineering expertise. They can leverage AKS automatics to help them, from codes to Kubernetes in minutes. Now, Azure Container Apps, as you build those things, this is a serverless platform. Container Apps is a serverless platform that allows you to maintain less infrastructure and save cost while running containerized application. We all know that the future is serverless platform. That's where the new applications are getting built. That's where the ISVs are building solutions on. We do have Azure Container Apps. It's great for customer who want serverless without function as a service, and who don't want to understand K8 but want cloud native. If you're really looking for cloud native, that's the way forward. What are the key benefits you get using Azure Container Apps? One is simple. Fully managed services with built-in DevOps. You don't have to worry about that. Scalable. From zero to hyperscale, you can seamlessly scale at any point of time. What else you need is efficient. Use our curated stacks to deliver more quickly. What's next is security. Secure. No root access needed, ever. So you never get to the root access. Open source integrated, built on Kubernetes with Dapper, Keda, and Envoy. AI app optimization. What you need for AI apps is GPUs, dynamic session, cost optimized, serverless or dedicated payment plan. So you get a lot of benefits, as it's great for our customers who want serverless without function as a service. So we do offer Azure Container Apps for our customer to leverage. And there are many customers across industries like H&M, Standard Chartered, Fujitsu, Bosch, across different industries, across different customers. They use this platform as they drive their serverless platform or do their application. When it comes to container, and can't be without talking about Azure Red Hat OpenShift. We know that, Red Hat OpenShift is a great platform, and we offer that on Azure as a Red Hat OpenShift as a first party service. What you get on Azure is you get the same consistent and flexible enterprise Kubernetes experience of OpenShift, but managed for you by a team of global SRE expert. You are able to use the cloud the way it was meant to be used, on demand, with the flexibility to scale, collaboration as you need it, when you need, where you need. So we provide all that flexibility. It's managed by our side, by special experts. What does it help for? You don't need to manage. You don't need to worry about scalability. You don't need to worry about collaboration. You don't need to about patching. All it's taken care. What it result to? Accelerate time to value. That means ARO clusters are very integrated with the tools and technologies you need to start, and using it immediately. It integrates developer tooling for increased productivity, so that developer teams have the tools they need right out of the box. Deploy applications in minutes. Quickly scale as needed across the clouds and geography. Manage cluster available in minutes. Use key technologies such as containers and Kubernetes, but with a platform that's integrated key tools and technologies out of the box. This is a first party services which Azure has. A simplified deployment process with proactive management from an expert SRE team allow developers to focus creating value add application to their customer. Last is operational efficiency. ARO is backed by a team of global Red Hat SREs that provides ongoing management to the platform, letting your organization increase operational efficiency, security, and resiliency. With the global reach, talent, and experience of Red Hat OpenShift SRE teams, you can reduce the high cost and learning curve. You can straight away minutes you can deploy it. With proactive monitoring, you can do, their ongoing management, reduce risk, revenue impact, downtime. Focus on innovation. As being our prime customers, you focus on innovation. Red Hat OpenShift lets you quickly build, deploy, manage application that scale as needed. You don't need to do much. You can focus on your time and resources on your core competency. Let monitor, manage, update infrastructure, daily operations, flexible consumption, logging, networking, all can be taken care. And we do provide hybrid cloud flexibility. OpenShift provides a consistent experience regardless of where it is run. That makes easier to move workload from on-premise to the cloud and can speed your migration and modernization plan using Azure, delivering a consistent experience on-premise and on Azure. Start using Azure Red Hat OpenShift if you are a Red Hat OpenShift customer. So first-party services can simply deploy, scale any point of time as you need. Let's change gear. Now moving on to Java on Azure. We all know that Java and OSS customer can run their applications with confidence on Azure. We know that Java is the leading language for enterprise application. For example, GitHub now has 150 million developers worldwide, and Java consistently rank in top 3 most used language in GitHub repository over the past year. That means more collaboration, more innovation, and more ways to learn from each other. Java and Linux work well together. Over 70% of Microsoft internal Java applications are Linux-based. Over 60% of Java customers running on Azure PaaS are Linux-based. And over 90% of the top 50 Azure database for PostgreSQL customer are Java shops. So that shows how the tightly integration we have, how we provide those together, how we leverage Linux, Java, open source, the developers GitHub to bring those things together. That's all on Azure for you guys or for our customer to leverage. And that's not. Microsoft runs on Java too. Today, with over 3 million JVMs running in production, 3 million JVMs, Java is at the heart of many Microsoft operations. For instance, since joining the Microsoft family in 2016, LinkedIn has been leveraging Java on epic scale. They are using Java Epic, managing 5 trillion messages and 5 petabyte of data daily on Apache Kafka cluster. The Minecraft, if you are a gamer, you know Minecraft realms. We have peak of about 100,000 VMs per day through Azure PlayFab services on Java. Beyond LinkedIn and Minecraft, Azure Infrastructure Control Plane and the Bing search engine use Java extensively in various ways. And as you can see from the numbers on the slide, the volume is significant. 500 billion messages, 50K servers running hundreds of thousands of JVMs for indexing. These are massive. So Microsoft runs on Java too. So you can leverage that power to drive that. All Java workloads supported on Azure means you can try to look at what all Java application framework, whether it is Apache, Spring, developer tools, open source database we talked about, Java application servers, whether it is JBoss, Oracle, WebSphere. You have all Java workloads supported on Azure. There is a comprehensive support across framework, across developer tooling, and seamless integrated AI in your Java application, because AI is the future. AI is what is driving the innovation. So you can easily, seamlessly integrate AI in your Java application with, whether it is LangChain, 4J, Spring AI, Azure OpenAI, client library, anything. And it's across the open source ecosystem. So We support all the Java workload for our customers. Now, at Microsoft, we're proud to remain the only vendor in the cloud computing offering a comprehensive suite of tools and services that allow customers to build, operate their application from code to cloud. This complete offering helps teams across development, app management, operations move faster, move more efficiently. Now, Azure App Platform on Azure is designed to support any app compute service you need to deploy and manage your application. This includes container services like ACA, Azure Container Apps, AKS, and PaaS services like Azure App Services, all enabling you to run application at scale with flexibility you need. Microsoft build of OpenJDK provides no-cost distribution of OpenJDK that's open source and available for free for anyone to deploy anywhere. You can download these things from Microsoft.com OpenJDK. No matter if you are building new or modernizing existing or legacy application, Microsoft provides you with the Azure AI application platform fully integrated to support your entire application lifecycle. From development to deployment, it brings together developer services, application services, database, AI services, all in one unified platform, Azure. So you can have Java destination, anything on Azure. We support all of that. Talking about the ecosystem here, Microsoft's strong partner ecosystem provides you the best-in-class solutions to help you modernize and extend Java workloads on Linux. With partnership like VMware for Spring Cloud Azure, Red Hat for JBoss EAP, IBM for WebSphere solution, you get joint development and support for seamless migration. Azure also supports fully managed services like MongoDB, Redis Enterprise, Confluent Cloud for Kafka. All of these we support fully. Additionally, marketplace images for popular Linux distributions like Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE offer flexibility for your Java applications too. This growing ecosystem ensures you have everything you need to be succeed with Java on Azure. So a big ecosystem with all Linux majors supported to really help you run Java with ecosystem. Now, apart from ecosystem, how do we do community engagement on Java, which is critical to drive the innovation? Microsoft is committed to the Java community and support projects that improve the Java developer experience. In recent months, we have contributed directly to the OpenJDK, implementing ports from Windows and macOS on ARM, contributing enhancement to speed up Java builds on Windows, and really helping to accelerate the development of the collector by contributing several critical performance enhancements. We are also an active contributor to adopt OpenJDK, helping provide the infrastructure needed to build vendor natural OpenJDK binaries. We have a large effort in Spring community to provide integration, support of Azure services, in addition to a first-party managed services running Springboard applications. It should also come as no surprise that GitHub is the home for open source Java. With over 3.6 million hosted Java repository on the platform since Microsoft joined forces with GitHub, we have been working to further improve the support and resource available to Java developers, including offering free cloud compute cycles to support CI/CD and code scanning capabilities in GitHub repos, which are helping to power several of the top Java projects, including projects from organizations like OpenJDK, Quarkus, Spring, and Apache. We have been working to ensure Java developers can have a great experience with VS Code by helping to integrate several popular toolkits. So we continue to drive the community, we continue to contribute to this community and bring the best solutions for our customer, working with GitHub's repositories, Spring Community, OpenJDK, we continue to drive innovation and contribution to these communities. Yeah, we again protect Azure workloads with Defender Cloud. Brian covered this from a database point of view, but I'm trying to help you understand a bit more from a developer point of view, from platform point of view. Nowadays, business are increasingly concerned about security due to their complex threat landscape, and especially when it comes to the open source. Right? People feel that open source community, the security could be compromised. But I want to assure you, we work with our Secure Future initiative to all these community to make sure that what you get, the platform is more secured on Azure. The digital transformation can create blind spot in protection and weak spots in workload configuration, shadow IT, rise in the cloud attacks. These are some of the challenges, complexities we are going through. But when attacks do happen, security tool can cause significant delays in threat response. Every second wasted can result in billions of dollars lost. Why Defender for Cloud becomes important? With Defender for Cloud is a uniquely positioned for Azure agentless native integration. Defender for Cloud provides native security controls and recommendation tailored to Azure comprehensive coverage. It protects a wide range of workload, including those are running in Azure, hybrid or multi-cloud. That's the beauty of this product. It's not only protecting the things on Azure, hybrid scenario, on-premise or multi-cloud with a consistent posture management and threat protection experience. We understand customer will have heterogeneous environment with multi-cloud and on-premise solutions all running together, but Defender can really help you drive those posture management. We have integrated threat protection, which seamlessly with Defender XDR, enabling faster detection, investigation, response across hybrid environments. And Azure is built on Azure Foundational Security. Defender for Cloud leverages Azure built-in threat intelligence platform, resiliency, reliability to deliver secure value natively. Beyond Defender for Cloud, we understand the security offering from Azure is very diverse. The way we recommend you think is treating Defender for Cloud as your entryway to security journey on Azure. It's easy to turn on. As you have experienced the security value more, you can start to try out more services like more comprehensive protections. But it's protect your workload across the cloud, multi-cloud environment. You can have a little bit more details on how these research we looked at through the white papers in the links given. The threat protections, right, for all layers for the cloud, it's and on-premise. Whether you are having servers and containers, whether you have service layers, whether you have database, whether you have AI workload, you have threat protection across all the layers from applications to Kubernetes to different databases to VM level to storage to AI Foundry models across multi-cloud, whether it is Azure AKS, whether it is Amazon EKS or Amazon EC2, Google GKE, Google Compute. It is across. So you have a posture across your segments, and you can really take advantage of the cloud security solutions from Azure. Going a little bit on the hybrid approach, now that you have hybrid approach is the most optimal approach for a comprehensive server security. Here is how Microsoft Defender for Cloud categorized server security into 3 value-based pillars. One is visibility and compliance, attack surface management, and advanced detects and response. Each one of these pillars would provide you based on some of the industry standard, the risk, compliance requirement, how you can integrate into the server infrastructure, how you can identify potential vulnerabilities. All of that can be part of visibility and compliance. In the second pillar, which is attack surface management, you can proactively identifying and migrating vulnerabilities. We can significantly reduce the chance of successful attacks. As I said, Microsoft on any day go through 84 trillion cents signal on security. We are the largest security company on the planet. We have security operations centers detecting and running these things. By focusing on advanced detection and response, this pillar will involve using cloud native XDR to provide real time attack detection, disruption. The proactive approach helps to minimize the impact of security incident. Though visibility and compliance are essential pillar for protecting cloud servers, comprehensive monitoring and real-time insights can really give you, potential threats, anomaly, and performance issues. So this is our security built on these three pillars, and you can adopt, step by step as you go through many services on Azure and experience the security posture. Moving forward, I'm trying to wrap up in next few slides. Azure is your strategic partner. How we support you throughout your journey: we provide comprehensive resources support at every stage of your cloud journey, from envisioning all the way to deployment. Access our global specialist partner funding to help you get started. We also have framework and skilling to ensure that you and your teams have the necessary knowledge for this cloud transformation. As you start to look at adopting cloud or thinking of, we can really help you envision. We can really help you assess your environment. We can really help you build migration plan. We can really help you build AI readiness, AI innovation, how to drive across different. As I said, as we work with other customers, there are so much learning we have. We can share some of the best practices with you, which other adopted in adopting in this journey. So at every stage, we are there to help you, whether it is skilling required for your organization to do DevOps, all of that we can really help you on that side. We have tooling and migration tooling and top priorities. A critical point to make here is discovery and assessment in choosing the right tools for the job. That's always a key thing as you look at. From a portfolio level assessment, we use tools like Dr. Migrate, Azure Migrate. Brent talked about Azure Database Migration Services. For code level assessment, especially for .NET and Java, we use AppCat. GitHub Copilot, Cost Highlight, security is embedded throughout, whether it is Dr. Migrate who auto-generate security assessment. What we want is, and our goal is to align tooling with your priorities, whether that's speed, depth of insight or security posture. Whether your goal is to modernize app, build cloud native apps, collaborate and contribute to open source, integrate data and AI to your apps, rapidly build apps with low code platform. Microsoft supports you with the entire gamut of tools to increase velocity and enable developers to build their terms. Migration and modernization projects are complex and require both IT professionals, developers to collaborate in planning and execution. Azure Migrate tooling is designed to help both set of stakeholders using respective strength and priorities of the personas. The Azure Migrate tool is our flagship migration solution, which helps with holistic assessment of your servers, app estate, to provide a comprehensive cloud readiness report. And with the newly released application aware capability, helps with the portfolio level migration, like you want low risk, medium risk, high risk, and it provides you, the level portfolio level migration. The Azure Migrate app and code assessment tool is designed for developers that integrates with popular IDEs such as Visual Studio. It is useful when you have access to .NET and Java source codes and binaries and want to perform more granular assessment of code changes required to run the apps in cloud. We can really help you on those sides too. GitHub Copilot chat integration further helps developers and app owners to any skill level to use conversational approach to plan their modernization using this tool. So GitHub Copilot really enhances those capability to make it a conversational tool for you. In addition, Azure Migrate, Microsoft leverage several third-party solutions. We talked about Cast, Unified Cloud, Dr. Migrate, and others to support additional use case and scenario. In summary, we have the tools, we have the partner solutions, we have our own tool, Azure Migrate, really helping you in assessment, not only from Migrate, but to modernize also for your developers and IT professionals with different personas to help through. So these tools are really available for you to leverage. Just to a little bit give deep dive more on to Azure Migrate, how it complements to the existing one, whether you are on-premise, whether you are with VMware, AWS, Google Cloud. Azure Migrate is a tool that can migrate from all clouds, hypervisor, bare metal, on-premise to Azure. The journey does involve several steps, as in any other journey will be. When you start the journey, it's starting with the discovery of the entire IT states, followed by assessment and business case, when one can see the right size recommendation for target Azure and how ready the resources are to moving. The business case includes financial analysis to make the case for Azure, all these including dependency analysis to ensure components of an application stay together for optimal performance and cost are covered. Azure Migrate can perform these functions for a host of workloads as shown in the slide. And where there are gaps, it takes a platform approach by integrating third-party point products to provide capability. So that's how Azure Migrate can really help you build the TCO model, the ROI model with different databases, with different platforms all together, make it a seamless experience for our customer. The next stage is as you go, is agentic DevOps. So talk about DevOps has come a long way with DevOps to DevSecOps to now agentic DevOps. The transformation role of AI-powered agents in DevOps act as an integral number of development teams to automate, optimize, and accelerate entire software lifecycle. That's where the agentic DevOps can really, it's part of your team to help you optimize. You can use GitHub models, democratize AI development by providing every developer with access to customizable AI models, enhancing app development speed. GitHub Copilot is showcased in two modes: agent mode, where it acts as a pair programming execution complex task on command, and a coding agent, which automates routine development tasks across the lifecycle. Additionally, Copilot supports app modernization efforts also, particularly for .NET and Java applications, which we talked in the previous slides, helping teams upgrade and evolve legacy system efficiently. Then Azure SRE agent is designed for production environment, continuously monitoring and optimizing application to Azure reliability and performance. Each of these AI-driven tools is available in public preview, signaling a new era where AI deeply integrated into the software development and operational workflows to boost productivity and innovation. That's where how the DevOps is getting evolved with agentic DevOps. You have tools, you have GitHub Copilot with agent mode, coding agent, and then Azure SRE agent for monitoring. All are coming together to really part of your team, act as an integral member of development teams to automate, optimize, and accelerating the entire software life cycle. It's a game changer. Now we have GitHub Copilot app optimization, which is GA now. Developers can now offload complex and time-consuming tasks to rapidly update, create, modernize Java, .NET application in GitHub Copilot. App modernization agents intelligently analyze application dependencies, and issues, understanding legacy application, programming languages, framework. You talk about the unique characteristics of your infrastructure to update, transform, modernize application at scale. All these app modernization agents are ready to do it for you. And GitHub Copilot now automates code analysis to understand key dependency and issues, remediating issues to keep existing applications up to date, improving performance and security while reducing license cost. These are available now. You want to learn more, you can go to the URL given on the slide. You want to download app modernization for Java extension pack, you can go and download and play with it. But these are the agent, these are the capabilities which we are building with Copilot and GitHub together to really help our developers to innovate fast, so that some of their work can be offload and they can focus on driving more innovation side. Next is our Azure Accelerate program. We are here to help in this through Azure Accelerate program. We are fueling our cloud transformation with our experts, investment, and resources. These are resources for you. These are the program investments for you to leverage. You can reach out to Azure team on specialized partner ecosystem, engage with Microsoft Cloud Acceleration Factory, add a zero cost deployment assistant. We will be there to help you through the Microsoft Cloud Acceleration Factory. It's a zero cost to you. We have teams to support you, we have teams to assess you, we have team to help you migrate, we have team to help you build the TCO story. Across all industries, we have those trusted experts. Microsoft investments, we provide funding for projects or phases to deliver faster business outcome. We do offer Azure credits with advancing cloud adoptions. We skill up internal teams with free on-demand content or customized training. Leverage those things under Azure Accelerate program. And use the tools, right? We have many tools available. We have AI enhanced tools to simplify your move to cloud. We talked about Azure Migrate, how it is really helping our customer. And, we can really help you. The resources we have from POCs to pilots to full deployment. We have cloud solution architect, we have fast track teams, we have really resources, solution engineers to really help you on those side. From migrations, all scenario, whether you are looking analytics, apps, AI, migration, databases, we can support you all. So in summary, we have, resources under Azure Accelerate to really help you drive these migration, to really make you successful. If you are successful, we would be successful. We are here to help in your AI journey, how to modernize, how to migrate, how to leverage the power of open source technologies for your organization to drive this innovation. So again, Azure Essentials provide a roadmap for successful migration and modernization. We have this, our 3-step process for a successful migration. We call it Azure Essentials, right? Which is really about process of a successful migration and modernization include establishing a solid foundation and readiness for migration, designing and deploying with governance. Governance is as important as any other thing you have, as well as managing and optimizing deployment. With Azure Essentials, you can embark on your migration and modernization journey with confidence. You have Microsoft, you have our partner ecosystem, you have open source solutions which we build through, you have developer ecosystem which we build through, we have communities which we are building through. Migrating and modernize to Azure really transform your business, making it more agile, secure, and productive. This transformation is a continuous journey. It's a journey that demands thorough planning, careful execution, and ongoing management. With Azure Essential, you can confidently embark on these transformative paths. So we are there to help you, migrate with confidence, modernize with confidence. We will make sure that you are successful in this journey. So, what are our next steps? As a next steps, let's further define your strategy, what you want to achieve, what cloud model best aligns to your needs, what cloud model aligns best to your strategy, to your environment. We can then assess your environment to determine the plan for your workload and test it out with a proof of value. We can do proof of concept. Once you have the business case created, you can confidently move forward with programs and the guidance to support you have from every step on the way from Microsoft. So we are really here to help you, whether it is assessment, whether it is POC, doing the pilot, the proof of value, the program, the guidance. We are there to help you in every step of this journey. We are here to transform your AI journey. We are here to transform the way you work, the way you go to market, the way you could be more innovative. Yeah, these are my next steps, and we really looking forward to working with you. I would like to thank you for joining us today for this session. We would love to hear your feedback. So please take some time to fill the survey out. Keep the question coming. We will be here for a while to answer your questions in the Q&A chat. And I'm hoping to see you again. And thank you, Brian, for joining for this session today with me. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks for joining us at today's Azure Digital event.